Singapore was recently hit by the death of Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, the country's first and longest serving Prime Minister. In case you aren't a Singaporean or old enough to have lived through the 50s to 80s and are wondering what's going on in Singapore, we are here to hopefully help you understand a little bit more about this great man. This is a story of a man who transformed a little island into a world-renowned metropolitan city. To start our journey, we first need to understand a little about Singapore. This is where we're located. Yes, a really tiny speck on the world map, but also a prime spot for trade. This is called the Eye of the British Empire, and in 1819, Singapore became a British colony. Soon, it transformed into a city of immigrants, with people flocking in from all over the world to be part of this bustling trading hub. On 16 September 1923, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew was born to a shopkeeper and his wife. He led a simple childhood, but was very smart and hardworking, excelling in his studies. He went on to attend the Raffles Institution, a really prestigious school, and came out on top in Singapore and Malaya. Despite his university studies being delayed due to World War II, he went on to study law at the University of Cambridge and graduated with a rare double first-class honours. In 1950, Lee Kuan Yew came back to Singapore to work as a lawyer. During that period, he felt that Singapore should govern itself independently, especially after he had seen how the British failed to defend Singapore from the Japanese during the war. So, in 1954, Lee Kuan Yew and a group of friends decided to form the People's Action Party, also known as the PAP, to campaign for self-governance and to put an end to the British colonial rule. He was PAP's first Secretary General. When the British finally allowed Singapore internal self-government, it was decided that the first Singapore elections be held on 30th May 1959. The PAP won the majority of seats, and Lee Kuan Yew became Singapore's very first Prime Minister. His first plan of action was to campaign for merger with Malaysia. He succeeded. However, he did not expect the political and racial tension that soon followed. In 1964, racial riots erupted in Singapore, sending the entire state into turmoil. It was a very trying time, and being unable to resolve the crisis, Singapore was then expelled from Malaysia. It was a huge blow for Lee Kuan Yew, who firmly believed that the merger with Malaysia was crucial for Singapore's survival.
You see, the whole of my adult life, I believed in Malaysian merger and the unity of these two territories. You know, as a people connected by geography, economics, and ties of kinship, would you mind if we stop for a while?
9 August 1965 was the day that Singapore gained independence. It was a very scary time for a young nation with little to no resources, trying to find a way to survive and grow. Singapore's future appeared uncertain. Despite the initial setbacks, Lee Kuan Yew began to tackle our nation's problems one by one, starting off with unemployment. At that point in time, 9% of the population was unemployed, and with the British withdrawing, there would be a huge loss in jobs. Lee Kuan Yew implemented policies that saw the unemployment rate drop from 10% to a mere 3%. Housing the nation was the next big challenge. It was inevitable that Singapore's population would expand as the quality of life improved. Residential areas at the time were in low supply and lacked sanitation. Lee Kuan Yew appointed Lim Kim San as the first chairman of Housing Development Board, better known as HDB. Today, more than 80% of Singaporeans live in HDB flats. Lim Kim San advocated public home ownership to give every Singaporean a stake in their country. Singapore now has one of the highest home ownership rates in the world. Next on the list was education. Lee Kuan Yew saw the importance of education in order to improve the lives of Singaporeans. He believed in meritocracy, where one's advancement is based on their ability and achievements. English became Singapore's first language in order for citizens to apply themselves globally. At the same time, bilingualism was encouraged so that Singaporeans wouldn't forget their roots. Lee Kuan Yew knew that as a small nation, Singapore needed allies. Through his numerous trips overseas, he built lasting friendships which helped Singapore grow significantly. This is also why Singapore has one of the most sought-after passports with visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to 170 countries and territories. In addition to all this, Lee Kuan Yew was responsible for many other aspects of Singaporean life. Its reputation as a garden city, the implementation of national service, long-term water sustainability, and many more. Lee Kuan Yew served in the cabinet for 46 years before he officially stepped down in 2011. On 23rd March 2015, Lee Kuan Yew passed away. Singapore will forever remember his contributions, and we hope through this video you will too. If you wish to find out more about him, you can click on the links in the description box below. Thank you for watching.